on Introduction to MATLAB and Simulink for Electrical System Modeling. For this webinar, we have an eminent speaker, Dr. Santosha Kumar Garu, working as Assistant Professor in Department of Electrical Engineering in Central University of Karnataka. There are small 2-3 instructions for the participants. I'll conclude with the instructions and then we will start. Please, for the successful running of conduction of webinar, I request all the participants to please mute their audio and video must be off position, sir, for having a clarity of voice. That is first instruction. And second instruction for the participants is please don't use annotations which will disturb the session. And the third instruction for the candidate participants is we will be, you can ask your questions at the end of the session only. We will be in the chat box, and also you are having the option of raising your hand also. Based on that, you can keep your place your questions in the chat box, and also you can raise your hand. If you raise your hand, we will be unmuting you for asking the question. That is the third instruction. And the fourth instruction, when you are asking the question for the speaker resource person, I request you all to keep your mobile near your mouth or whatever the device you're using, microphone. You can place it at a high level for having good audibility. And the next is one more very important instruction is that we will be placing the feedback link only in the chat box. We are not going to mail the feedback links, please. I request all the participants to collect the feedback link from the chat box itself. And also that will be active for only 1 hour. And a very important to all the participants is already we have informed you your batch members, batch number clearly in your mails, because we are having more than 600 participants who are registered. So with respect to that, we have made the batches, and your batch number is clearly mentioned in the subject of your mail. Please check the mail to know in which batch you belong. And when you are submitting the feedback link, I humbly request all the participants to please select the respective batch link only. This is all the instructions. And one more thing, I request you all for the successful and smooth conduction. We hope your full cooperation with us. So without wasting any extra time, let us begin with the introduction of today's resource person. For this, I would like to request our beloved head of the department, Dr. M. Ramesh Garu, to introduce the resource person. HOD, sir.
Okay, thank you all of you. Good morning all of the participants. I hope that all the participants are safe and staying at home. Please take care during the pandemic time and follow the government instructions to overcome the pandemic. Myself, Dr. Ramesh, working as a professor and head of the department at EEE, Vageshwari College of Engineering, impart goal-oriented, quality-based and value-added education. Over the years, we have evaluated as a symbol of quality education. The society was established by the eminent and educated personalities in the name of Goddess Saraswati Devi, Sri Vageshwari Educational Society during the year of 2003. Under leadership General Secretary Dr. G. Srinivas Reddy Garu, who is a doctor in Ayurvedic and dedicated missionary in the field of education. About the department, the Electrical and Electronics Engineering started in the year 2005. The department is bestowed with the highly qualified and experienced faculty with an objective of imparting quality of education in the Electrical and Electronics Engineering. I thank all the participants today webinar on Introduction to MATLAB and Simulink for Electrical System Modeling. I would like to introduce today's speaker, Dr. Santosh Kumar. Dr. Santosh Kumar is working as an assistant professor of electrical and uh, Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Central University of Karnataka. He did his BTech Electrical and Electronics Engineering, BEC, Bagalkot, VTU, Belgaum, Karnataka. He did MTech Power and Energy System from National Institute of Technology, Karnataka, Surathkal, in the year of 2010. He PhD from the Department of Electrical and Electronics, National Institute of Technology, Karnataka, Surathkal, in the year of 2016. He is the life member of ISTE and a member of IEEE. The area of interest: renewable energy source, power systems, and microgrid. He has more than 20 papers in his credit, which includes international, national journals and conferences. On behalf of IEEE department, I thank Santosh Kumar sir to accept our invitation today webinar. So very much thankful to Santosh sir, okay, to invite today webinar, introduction to MATLAB, Simulink for the electrical system modeling. I hand out to session to the Santosh Kumar sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Very much, sir. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
It is audible, sir.
Audible? Okay.
Yes,
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to present. In the beginning, as I tell you, I'm not expert in anything. While doing my research or while doing my classes, whatever learned, I'm going to share with you. It is not like I'm very expert in MATLAB or modeling. And the beginning, what we can say is that I will not be dealing with how to model the things because that should be done in a different way. So I will take one model, for example, and how to implement in the MATLAB that I'm going to show. Before that, you might have gone through many of the softwares like MATLAB, PSpice, PSCAD. Many softwares are there also in the market. But what special MATLAB gives is that you can build your own model. If you go for PSpice or the PSCAD, you can model only electrical systems or related all the devices or the systems. So if you go for the MATLAB, you can build your own model of anything. Even you can model a human body also if you're able to have the proper equations with you. So it is one way generalized software for anybody, even for science, for engineers. Okay. So that makes a very different from other softwares. Of course, I'm not propagating the MATLAB here. Of course, we have a licensed version. Every year they will release updated versions. Presently, they are released 2020A. But what I'll be showing is that 2010 because I worked with that and quite comfortable with that software. Okay. Just start my presentation with single quote. I think it is. Okay, is it visible? The slides are visible, sir?
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay.
Visible, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, this one quote is given by Henry Petroski. Science is about knowing, engineering is about is doing. So whatever the things coming from the science, we'll try to do it and implement and we'll innovate. So that's the one quote just to start up with. Introduction. MathWork tools for technical computing and simulations used for engineering and science disciplines. It's widely used. It's not restricted to only electrical or anybody. It is used for all the domains of the engineering and science. In MATLAB, we have two ways to do the modeling or the presentation. One is programming language, as it is like similar to C or C++, and one is the interactive environment where you can draw the models. Already the components are there. You just, as per your requirement, you can drag it into your system and you can connect as per the requirement. You can run the simulation. It is like of course it is a interactive or the drag and drop system, but behind their codes are there. For every Simulink model, the codes will be written in the background. Simulink especially, it is a graphical based modeling you can go for, and you can do the dynamics system simulation modeling, all the time-based systems, transient, all those can be carried out in the MATLAB. I will not go in detail how all those things. I'll just start with your MATLAB. Okay? As I told you, there are two options. One is for coding, similar to CR with this. It has own syntax also. You cannot directly use the C codes, but some similar, all the loops, everything, the procedure will be same, but syntax will be quite different. And another one is your GUI, that is a graphical user interface, where you just drag and drop into the workspace. You can connect as per the requirement and you can run the system. Okay. Here, some usefulness of the Simulink is that just you are drawing the models. You are not writing the code. It is, of course, coding is in terms of connecting the models, and it is interactive. While program is running, you can change the parameters and you can see how the system is responding. That's the one advantage of going for the Simulink. And here, if you have a hardware applications or you want to dump the codes or your Simulink model into the hardware, you can generate executable codes and those can be used for the real-time applications. Okay, this is the small introduction about the MATLAB. Okay, and just to remind you, to use MATLAB, you should have a mathematical model of a system or device or the process. Otherwise, you cannot use the MATLAB. You should have a mathematical representation of whatever you want to do. That is the one requirement. So just I want to how we are going to do, or how I'll show you the MATLAB is like that. This is the one wind system model. Of course, I've taken from one paper. Here you have a wind turbine. This has to be modeled. This separately model has to be generated for wind turbine, where wind system is connected to the grid. So how exactly it looks in a mathematical way. Here you have wind turbine. Of course, is a schematic representation. All the complete model we need to develop for the wind system. You have a PMSC. This one also has to be developed. That means you have already in MATLAB, we have that, we'll see. And after that, you should have to rectify that output from the PMSC. That rectifier model has to be inserted or developed. It depends. It's a filter. If you put a filter, that means we have to remove any harmonics from the rectifier. You have to go for filter. Then you have a boost converter. Of course, it's optional how your system is going to connect it to the grid or the other parts. Depending upon that, this boost, buck boost, or those will be done. And here, this is the how exactly boost converter is implemented. You have a inductor and you have a switch, diode, and the capacitor. This is the boost converter model. And after that, you have an inverter. So that inverter is connected to the grid through the filters or any. These can be represented as a filter, or it can be represent the line impedance also. This is the system. I will not go all the models, how it has to be modeled, anything. I'll show in brief, especially the wind turbine model, how PMSC also available, and how to implement some of the Poltronic devices in the MATLAB. I'll try to show. MATLAB screen. This is here. Yes, this is actually command window where you can write the code as well as you can execute the code here itself. For example, is equal to 2 plus 3. It is a directly executable command window. You can write here. So you can write the code here and you can execute also. And here, whatever the files will be used in the MATLAB, those will be shown here. And this is this window workspace. Whatever the variable data is stored will be shown here. For example, I have typed A, that A is showing here and the value is shown also here. And here, whatever the command history will be shown in this command history form. Okay. Next is, as I told you, there are two options to do the mathematical modeling or the executing the math. One is writing a code and one is going for the Simulink model. Both you can do, but for large electrical systems, writing code becomes a difficult. Of course, it is a choice. Many people for voltage profile for a grid connected or micro, they will go for the coding, and many people will go for the Simulink or the SimPower system platform. It depends how you are. I'm not comfortable with coding. Generally, I'll go with the Simulink or the power sim power system. Many people are also there, they will go for the coding also. Okay, here, and one thing, whenever you're going for the before executing, you can set the path where your files has to be stored. Otherwise, generally it goes to the MATLAB document files. Better you should change the path where exactly you want to store the files. There you can set the path also. So now I will directly go for the Simulink. Here you can see the Simulink screen. Here many options are there. Majorly in Simulink we used the commonly used blocks, continuous, logical bit operations, math operations, sources, and sinks. Of course, one by one I will go in detail. Just I want to show what are they available. Signal routing sometimes use, model. We may not use all of us, but randomly we use continuous, logical and bit sometimes. Signal routing also sometimes will use, sources and sinks. These are generally we'll use in the our electrical systems. The another important object in the MATLAB is your SimPost, where lot of models are already available. You need not to go for the mathematical modeling of each of every device. For example, if you want to implement if you want to do in detail, you have to develop a diode model, then you need to use it in the Simulink. Otherwise, now you can see the electrical sources here. All the sources are available. AC source, control DC sources are there, and programmable and three-phase sources. I will try to give some of the examples as and when we move towards the rest. And here elements also available. All the many, it means most of the required elements are available from your breaker, neutral, surge arresters, all. I think I hope all of you are familiar with MATLAB. I think if at all is there, if you are redundant, means you can tell me so that I can directly go to the other part. Okay. Here many objects also available. Depending upon our usage, we will choose what are the requirements are there. And in machines also you have all the different, majorly we'll use PMSG, synchronous machines and asynchronous machines. Generally we'll go use. Of course, all the objects cannot be explained or used in a single system. We'll try to use as much as possible. And measurements also available: current, voltage, three-phase, and your current and voltage measurements will be available. And the very useful is that for our Powertronics, here all the Powertronic devices available, your thyristors, IGBTs, MOSFET, and ideal switch we can use MOSFETs, thyristors, and three-phase bridge inverters also available. So whatever for in order to build a particular or a system, electrical system, all of the models are already available in the MATLAB. There are some people may argue you need not use, you should model your own devices and connect and then you see. That's also one argument. It is depends on how you're going to use it. So if you want to go in detail every modeling, then every device or the component has to be modeled using Simulink. Then you connect one by one, you can run. Or if you don't want to waste, or you don't want to you don't have a time to do that one, directly you can use the SimPower system components for the building the models. Okay. Now, as I shown you in the screen, this one equation just I want to see. All of you can see the equation. Okay, now you can see the screen, isn't it?
Sir, presentation okay, sir. Equation okay, sir.
Yeah. See, this is the equation for your wind turbine. That means PM, power output from a wind turbine can be written by this particular equation: 0.5 rho A Cp VW cube. Here 0.5, of course you know how to derive this equation, is available. Rho is the wind air density, A is the swept area, Cp is the bed's constant or the limitations. Generally it is given for a particular wind turbine, and W is the wind speed. This is the equation which gives the power output of your a particular wind turbine. We need to implement this in the your MATLAB. The another one is CP. CP also is given for a, it is a particular value for CP. The CP is defined by this equation. So these three equations has to be implemented in order to see a wind turbine output from your Simulink. Okay, we'll try to do this one. It is 0.5 rho A CP VQ. Okay. Now I'll just open here. If we go for the file here, you can see new script. If you going for the MATLAB main window and if you go for the file, there you only see the script file. That means you can write the codes here so that it can be executed. After that, if you click the Simulink browser as I shown you earlier, there if you click on file, or if you click on this button, you will get the new model. It will open a new window that where you can easily implement your model. Okay. Now it is half rho A V cube. So what I will do is, half is a constant, so you can go for the commonly used blocks. There you can find the constant. Here is the constant. Now rho is also a constant because for a particular area the air density is the common, so that also I will take. You can take from here, or you can just right click on your mouse. If you drag it, it will becomes a duplicate. Okay, those two also can be done. Now rho A half rho A V cube. V cube is a variable. As of now, I am not going to constant for that. Just I will try to use the your rho A half rho A cube.
Sir.
First it is the half, so I will make it as the constant. Already it's constant is there. I'll just take the constant, double click on that, you will see the constant value. You make it 0.5. It becomes half. Now you just right click, you can copy, or you can just paste here, or generally if you click on the right mouse of your button and drag it, it becomes the duplicate. Now this is the row, that means half row. I'll just write ROW row. Generally we'll take row as the 1.5. This is the 1.2. Generally we'll take, this is standard. So half row A. A is your swept area. You can write anytime if you have any block you brought. If you double click on the bottom, you can write. For your convenience, you can write the things. Then I will write A, swept area. Now, the another input is your wind speed. That will take it in a different way. Now all are multiplied. Half rho A and V cubes are multiplied. Okay. Just try to copy and paste this. Okay, leave it. It's not possible. Now this I'll make just for time being. I'll show you this is as a constant wind speed. And another input is your CP. Okay, now all these are multiplied. So you can find with multiplication here, or you can go for directly for the math operations. Either way, generally commonly used means if you are using frequently model, those will be shown in your commonly used box. Otherwise, a particular tab you can go there, you will find the all other options. So math operations, and just try to multi product. Okay. See here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements are there. I need to multiply all of them, but here you have 2. But you can change that one. You just double click. You can change the numbers. How many inputs you require, you can change the. So I'll make it 5. So these you have now. Okay, just to connect that one, you just click, hold your mouse button on the output of that constant and just connect. Okay, for swept area, generally in your most of the papers they will give us the diameter or the radius. So pi r square if you make, you will get the total swept. I will just for time being I'll just give the some 10 meter square. I'll give the swept area. So wind speed generally most of the time will the range of wind speed given from 4 to 12 meter per second. So I'll take some 9 meter per second. Okay. Now this is the equation. Pm is equal to half rho a Cp v cube. See here, wind speed what I have shown is the directly connected, but it is the cube. We need to make it as the cube. So go for math operations. Okay. Let's take this one. See here, you can take the math operation. You just sometimes if you just keep in between the lines, that model will be connected automatically. You need not to I'll just show. You need not to delete, and so just you drag it, just place on the line, it will be used. So if you go for math operation, there are number of options are there. Okay, power, exponential, log, 10 to the u, magnitude, square, power, conjoint, reciprocal. So whatever they required, you can go for. Now I will go for the power. So here 2 options will come. U is the your base, V is the your power. So one already I have given as the U, that is the base value. So I will just take for the cube because we required V cube. I'll make it 3. Okay, this becomes your V cube. This output becomes the V cube. Now whatever the equation I have shown you there, that is now built here. So if you want to see the outputs, go for the sinks. See here, commonly used blocks, math operations are generally will use. In order to see the output, you go for the sinks. There, different sinks are available. A display is there, scope is there, your 2 workspace is there. All will possibly I will take 1 or 2 in the coming. Okay, I'll put the display and I'll put your scope also. See, and one you always try to remember whenever using the scope, you just double click on the scope. There are 2 options are there. Here parameters you click always. So, yeah, here one is general. You can change the axis. That means if you require the 3 inputs should be seen at a time, you can change the number of axes. All others you need not to worry, you just leave it. Here data, you should always remember, always you uncheck this box. Otherwise what happens, if you run for a 10 seconds or 1 minute or 200 seconds, the data or the results which is shown in the scope will only for last 500 points only. So you have to remember, otherwise you may get the output. If you don't uncheck this one, you will not see the complete output. So use first, whenever you are using first time scope, you just the uncheck, and you can copy the same thing for the other scopes. So this is the, and another one important is here, save data to workspace. So here if you use just the scope, you just see the output. If you want to store it and use it for the future data, there you need to go for the save the data. There you can give the variable name as per your wish. I'll write just wind power. Here also there are many formats are there: structure with time, structure, and array. It depends on how we are going to store and how you to plot that one. That depends. That we'll see how it is possible to deal or not. It's a different case. I will apply. Sure. Okay. Now, see, I will just connect this one also, and I'll show you. Okay, now I will just try to run the. Okay, now you can see 2180. The value is showing here. You can see the same thing. But what I will do now, I have given the constant wind speed. Rather than what we can do, you can change the wind speed as and when time passes. Okay, for that you go for the sources. There are many sources are there. Clock is also source, and even constant is also source. Where repeating sequences are there, sine wave, step, all are there. I'll just show you two types of inputs, and one is RAM. Just now I just disconnect it and just I'll put a step. I just want to show how to use a step input. Okay. See here, if you double click on the step, you have parameters: step time, initial value, final value. So step time means after what time your initial value goes to the final value. That means I'll give 5 seconds. Initial value is 5 meter per second. Final value is 12 meter per second. So after initially, here you can see initially 5. After 5 seconds, you will see the 10. That means 12. 5 meter per second for first 5 seconds. After that, the output will be changed to the 12. So this is the one step input how you can. Class is class. Okay. And now here you can see the 12. I'll just click OK. Now, what is the difference between display and scope? I'll just want to show you. I'll run. See, in your display, you are seeing the last number. After the stopping the simulation, you can see the number. In your scope, you can see the from complete section. Okay. I'll just now you can see the screen. I think scope.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See here, from whole simulation time is shown from 0 to 5 seconds. It is 5 meter per second. After that, it was we changed it to from 5 seconds. We changed it to 12 minutes. So the complete simulation time output can be seen in the scope, but in your display only the last value will be seen. Or as and when the simulation is going on, that time you can see the change in the values. So this is the difference between your the scope and the display. Of course, you want to see the final value, you need not to put the scope, directly go for the display. But if you want to see the whole changes in the simulation time, then you have to go for the scope. And one thing, remember, if you keep on increasing the scopes in your simulation diagram, the memory becomes larger and larger. Sometimes your MATLAB may stop working for the memory over or memory array. So you will try to have as minimum as scope. If you have a very good configuration of your MATLAB, then need not to worry. You can go with any number of scopes. If you have a limited memory in your system, then you try to have minimum number of scopes. Okay. Okay, now rather than step input, I will go for the ramp. Okay. If you go for the ramp, you can see the slope. That means how fast your input or the signal has to be changed. I just put 5, and your initial output I'll put as the 2. Okay. That also you can see by putting the screen how this is going to change. Okay, now if you run it, Just wait, I'll just try to change it within 12 meter per second. Okay, within 10 seconds, your wind speed will vary. Sorry, I need to share the screen. So here, you can see the screen, your scope is that I use the ramp function where if you give the values, you can see from 0, it will start from 0 and it will increase the, it is taken as a wind speed. You can have your own model although for wind speed, that's a different case. For time being, I've just taken the ramp signal, which changes from 0 to 12 meters per second in a 10. So it is there. So we can use this one for the output. So how this output will see. Okay. Now you can see the wind speed, the power, how the power is. I changed from 0 to 12 meter per second. Now your output is also changing from 0 to almost is 5 kilowatt. So how this is the how you can change the wind speed. See, it is just an example. It not to be like you have to use. There are many models are there to just to make the wind speed models. You can use that one also. So these are the two ways how you can use wind speed. Okay. Just signal builder, you need not to. I just tell you, otherwise I'll show. You can use similarly. You can have at what particular time what wind speed can be changed or any input. It is not by wind speed. If you are going for the PV systems, you can change the irradiance also. So if you just change it, you can change also. See, this is what are the you are seeing on the screen is the signal builder. Here you can put the time scale. You can have any number of that means seconds or the minutes. You can take it and you can change the values as per your requirement. Here ramp is like that. It goes in a straight line. Here you can have steps or whatever the possible way you can make it. Okay. So here for that you need to change it. Axis. Just I need to change the axis. Now, if you have that one, just change. You can change as per your requirement. Okay, any possible positions you can take. So this is the one way you can have the signal, of course. Yeah, otherwise, you can go for the step function as generally say useful. Okay. Now, as I told you, this is the just a wind turbine model, but we are not used CP as the direct value, but CP also has to be what we can, you need to develop a model for that. As I shown you, this is given as, of course, I will not read out these two equations. I need to implement in your system. Okay. See, just I will explain 60.04 minus 4.69 lambda divided by lambda. This is the one. See, he can see here. This is one part. This is the one part. This is the another part. So there are three parts are there. So if you see any equations, you try to divide into the parts. It is easy for to implement. So next one is your e to the power minus 21 plus 0.735 lambda divided by lambda. Okay, this is the another one. The next part is 0.00 68 lambda divided by 1 minus 0.035 lambda. These three parts becomes your Cp. Then lambda is defined by your omega r divided by your v. That means your wind speed. These three will try, these four are two equations. I'll try to show you how to implement. Okay. So this is the one way. Here, if you have many blocks to be included, has to be combined, then what you have to do, you can make a subsystem. Okay. I'll remove this ramp as of now because we need not require. So, okay. Now what I will do, I'll you just select all the blocks you want to make it as a subsystem. So you selected all these blocks and just right click on that, you create a subsystem. So it becomes a wind turbine model. Now here, see, when you're doing, if you don't keep any constant or input for any of the value, that is inbuilt takes an in or out. Okay. Here I should have removed the scope, then you could have got the, so I'll just show you. Okay, see, if you don't keep anything here, it becomes input. If you remove the scope, it becomes the output. Okay. If you just again select it, then go for the create subsystem. So you have got two things. One is for in, that is your wind speed input, and output is your power. Now, as I told you, I'll just try to implement your CP. CP is again, first one is your constant, or otherwise I'll just show you. I already files are there, not to waste time. I'll just show you the direct file. Waste time in showing how to implement. I already implemented. I'll just show you. So here, this was the power equations. There are two ways to implement your equations. One, as I told you, power. This is the power equations. I have implemented using this one. This is your Simonic block. The same block, this complete block is implemented using this function. That means you need not to go for, you can write the functions also. See here, for example, CP, what I told you, they have given the values for C1, C2, C3. If you go for any of the reference book, CP is defined by all these values. So that equation has been implemented and have taken the CP value here. Okay. For if you remember the equation there, you have the wind speed, air density, diameter, that means your swept area, Cp. For Cp, you have a lambda. Lambda is nothing but your omega r divided by V. That means your turbine speed multiplied by the radius of your wind turbine divided by wind.
Right.
Yeah. See, this is actually I was supposed to show you how to implement every block, but we are running out of time. Just show you how that was. See, this equation and whatever you have done the subsystem, both are same. So you can see how you can manipulate your, as and when you keep on using the MATLAB, will come to know different ways to implement. This whole equation has been implemented using in this function. You can write as good as writing a handwritten equation, you can write rather than going for the very elaborated Simulink model. So here constant, all these things are taken in this your function. This is simplest way. And here, as I told you, CP, is the value. This is the different equation what I'm showing. Cp is defined by C1, C2, all these values will be given. It is, you cannot have these values. The manufacturer of the wind turbine will use all these values, or any of the reference papers you can get. So these values, and that Cp is implemented using function. If you can go for the Simulink block like this, as I previously shown, it is very convenient than this. Okay, you can, Cp is also implemented in lambda. Lambda is nothing but your omega r divided by V, that is also implemented here. So all these values are given to the your power requirement. So once if you run, can power output from your the wind turbine model. Okay. The another I will show you. This is the complete Simulink model. You can implement whole system in your code also. Okay, that I will show you. Yeah, same equation Cp, your power equation Cp as written in the code values that I shown you. C1, C2, C3, C4, pi value, Rho is nothing but your wind density. V is here, wind velocity. We have taken from 0.1 to 20 meters per second in steps of 0.01. All this is also code can be written. The same Simulink model what I have shown you, that is written in the code. So if we run this one, see, this is the Cp versus lambda. See, from that code, we can get this type of character. This the same character also can be get from your Simulink model. From the code also you can write. But here problem is with the code is that once you given the run command, you cannot change in between any of the values. It is going to be completed execution up to the whatever the length you are given for the wind speed. But in Simulink, you can go for the in between. You can change the values and you can change the output of the code. So that's the difference. It just same output also can be seen in your Simulink model also. This is the code, that is the Simulink implementation. Okay. This is your power, this is the Cp value, and the output power is taken. I think you remember power divided by speed, you can get the torque. So once you build the wind turbine model, next is going, it goes to your PMSD system. Okay. You see here, I have taken, still you can see the screen or not? Here, what I have shown is that a wind turbine model in which we have the wind turbine model is a subsystem. From that output, you are going to get the torque. So from wind turbine model, you are getting the power. If you give the feedback of the speed from the generator, it becomes the torque. So here I have given the PMSD. This is your PMSD. I'll just try to connect. Okay, so we have a PMSD here. You can go for, there are different DFICs also there, but I have taken PMSD. You can. So here in PMSD, if you double click on that, there are different ways to configure your PMSD parameters. Okay. Now, if you have go for the parameters, stator phase resistance, inductance, flux linkage, all this has to be with you. Otherwise, you may not get the required value. For this reason, you need to refer any of the standard paper. They will give all these values. You need not to worry. If you take a particular 50 kilowatt wind PMSD generator, in many paper they'll give these resistance, inductance, LD, LQ, flux linkage. All these values will be available. So you need to insert those values here. Otherwise, you need to design your own kilowatt wise PMSD, and all these values has to be derived. Otherwise, you select a particular generator of your requirement, then use those values. And another thing, for your any generator, if you use the negative feed, that means minus torque means it is a generator, it's a positive torque means it's a motor. So this PMSG, not a generator, it's a synchronous machines you can use. If you go for any of the machines in the sim power system, if you give the negative torque, that becomes a generator. If you use the positive torque, it becomes the motor. So that you try to remember. So after that, after the generator, we are going for the rectifier. Yeah, this is one measurement. We double click on that. It is available in the your sim power system. Okay, because it's a three-phase system, we are going for the 3-arm bridge. Can use 1, 2. If it's a single phase means you can go for the 2-arm. If it's a 3-phase, you can go for 3. And if you know the values, you can keep it, or otherwise you leave it. These are the submer resistance. Generally, it is very high, and capacitance will be very high. So that depends on. That's what. If you know the values, you keep it. Otherwise, you have the maximum. You have to know that what is the submer capacitance value and submer resistance value. Otherwise, for time being, if you want to learn, if you are learning the MATLAB initially, you need not to worry about that. Here I have taken the diodes. Rather than diodes, you can go for the any of the different values also. Thyristors, MOSFETs, IGBTs, like that. Okay. After the rectifier, I have connected your boost converter. Of course, don't worry about this part. This part is actually a control part. That is, again, it takes a 1 hour to explain. I will not go through how to control the boost converter. I'll just try to show you how that model has implemented. Okay. Here, after rectifier, I have kept a small filter. After this is the inductor. You can just simply inductor. Here, what I should just if you take the element in from your sim power system block, there you can have R, RL, RLC combinations also you can have. You can go for the L. So here I have given default, or you can calculate by using the cutoff frequency. You can go for the L values also. Okay, so that can. This is the IGBT. So here, this was the bridge and this was the single element. This becomes your this part. This complete part becomes your boost converter. This boost converter is connected to an inverter system. Just I will show you one which has wind turbine is connected to the grid system, as I'm telling. Here in this, we have all the components, wind turbine, PMSG, in this block PMSG as a subsystem blocks, as I've shown in the separate screen. There, all the screens combined becomes the wind system. That is the boost converter output is connected to your inverter. This is your universal bridge. If you take the universal bridge, this will be available. Now, you can have the filter as per your, it can be RL filter, RLC, and you have a measurements and the source. See, in your most of the time, if you want to represent a grid in the MATLAB, you just take a 3-phase source. If you connect a 3-phase source, that becomes your infinite bus of the grid. Here, you can select the what type of voltage and system or grid is required, 420 or 380. Generally, if you go for the UK and all, they'll go for 380 volts with 60 hertz, or our Indian or Asian standard is our 420 60 hertz. Here also source resistance you can for example, if you're connecting any distribution system, that time you need to know what is the source resistance and the source inductor, or you can keep minimum, or many papers also they will give the particular example and those values you can keep. Okay, but remember, if you are running a Simulink, you should know all the values, whatever the components you are using, you should know the values, and you should have an idea of what type of output you are going to get. Otherwise, you may not able to see the output, or you may not able to judge the output is correct or not. You should have an idea. If you, for example, if you have 50 kilowatt wind turbine you have taken, the output should also be a minimum, if you are running for 12 meter per second and 50 kilowatt wind turbine is there, you must get at least 48 or in the near value. So that if you are getting 50 kilowatt wind turbine, you are getting 100 kilowatt output, then something is wrong in your system. So you should have an idea of output also. Simulink or modeling doesn't mean that you will get the output is correct. You should also have a idea of what type of output and what range it is. Then only it is the model is correct or not, you can judge yourself. Okay. So here in this screen, what we have, of course, a lot of things are there. Need not to be much worry as of now. See here, I have connected loads also in this case. See in this here, from this part it becomes the your wind. For completely this part is your wind turbine system, and from this part it becomes your grid or the your distribution side. From this I have connected two loads, RL loads. You can go for the series or yeah, here some power system elements are there, so you can go for this. Loads are there, you can three-phase loads, series or parallel loads you can go. If you want to put the same whatever the grid voltage is there, the same voltage should also be kept here. You can mention the active power, reactive power, okay, use that one. And your breaker, if you want to toggle between the if you want to increase the decrease the loads, you can use the breaker in between and it can be controlled. And breaker is also one important block. If in between certain, you can operate from external also. Okay, if you give one input, it will be on. If you give 0, it will be off. Okay, here I have taken, if you double click on your breaker system, you can see external control of switching. Okay, if you remove that one, it is on, you can give the timings. Otherwise you can control from the outside also. So I given from outside. Whenever you want to switch on a load, switch off load, that configuration can be done. Okay. It's difficult to go a complete it will take at least 2 to 3 hours to go for a complete modeling and all. Just I wanted to give a brief introductory part modeling, not as in-depth. Okay, this it is a way simply how we can implement a wind turbine model. I'll show you. Okay, I think I have not very basically covered because of this toggling between the screens. Otherwise,
If people are having any questions with respect to MATLAB and Simulink, you can ask your questions in the chat box, or you can also raise your hand so that we will unmute you for asking the question to sir. Sir, there is a question in the chat box, sir.
okay.
About performance of FFT analysis for a circuit during simulation, sir.
Okay. FFT analysis, I think you are seeing the screen, no? Isn't it here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if you go for this Power GUI, if you double click on that, here you can see the FFT analysis.
Yes, sir. Actually, again, we have to share the screen. I think.
Okay.
Sorry, sorry, sorry.
Okay, no problem. Just who is asked, just see, you go for the Power GUI, double click on that, you will get FFT analysis tab is there. If you just click on that, you can see the harmonic analysis of that particular signal. And remember, if you want to do the FFT analysis, your signal, whatever the signal you want to analyze, that should be stored. That means it should be in the workspace or in the your scope. Otherwise, it will not be shown. So you can use the Power GUI. There you have get the FFT analysis.
Okay, thank you, sir. And one more question, sir. In this block, we are using clock in this simulation, right, sir?
Yes.
The use of that clock.
Yeah, here what happens when you use the scope? Previously I have shown in the beginning scope. There you have workspace storing the results. There you have the structure with time, structure and array. 3 options are there. If you go with the structure with time, you cannot combine 2 output. That means here, so you can see here written PG grid, Q grid. I want to see both the outputs in a single screen. That means when I want to plot it, if you go for the structure with time or any of the options are available in that term, you may not able to do that one. So what I will do, I will store this output as array. So you can, I think you can see the screen, this one.
Yes, sir.
Ah, okay. Here, structure with time, structure and array is there. So if I take any of the out of these two, I can only plot that output only in that particular screen. If I go for array and I will give the time, this clock I will save as the common time for the all the outputs. We have maybe around 15 outputs are there. For all the outputs, I'll take it as a single time array. Both can be, you can combine many outputs in a single plot. That's why I am using the clock here.
Oh. Sir, one more question, sir. We can use which MATLAB version to run this model?
Actually, this I have this model. I think I built in 2010A.
Okay, sir.
You can run in the upper versions. May not be possible in the downward versions. You can go for 2010 and up. These models. Of course, this is not available in. This is a built model by me when I'm doing some work.
Okay, sir. Sir, one more question, sir. Can we have a direct to block to find values of voltage and current and also active reactive powers by GS and NR methods?
You can voltage and current, anyhow you have a measurements. Here I have kept the voltage and current measurements. Anyhow you have to keep a scope, or you can put a display, you can see, but I don't know what is GS and NR method. I'm not getting that one.
Okay,
I
sir.
don't have idea.
I'll ask him to abbreviate the names clearly, sir.
Okay, fine.
Thank you, sir. Next one is which type of controller is preferable for this system?
Here in this model I have used PI control, that means proportional and integral method. Just for the beginners, PI control is good. Okay. Otherwise you can have any advanced methods are there, like means fuzzy logic, space vector is there. Those you can use. Of course, that's what, if we have the mathematical model and how it is going to work, it is then only you can implement in the MATLAB. You should have a model and how it is going to be working, you should know. It is most of the time they'll go for the PI. If you have well knowledge about fuzzy logic or space vector and all other algorithms, you can implement that one also. Here in this model, I have used PI controller.
Okay, sir. Sir, one more question about the output, sir. While taking basically when we take the printouts of the simulated results, sir, getting a background of black color.
Yeah. That actually I wanted to tell you. See, when you use a scope, that problem will come. So what you do, don't use scope, you use the workspace. What I'm showing here, see, like this. You connect your output to a workspace.
Okay.
Then you give variable name, or you can just structure with time. You make a structure with time, then run your model. When you run your model, this value will be stored in your MATLAB. Then you plot it. After that, when you plot it, it is you can modify completely how it is going to be running. I can show you, but it takes time actually. Again, I need to toggle between the two. That's what, if you don't want to black background, don't use your scope. You can use the scope also, but go for the save in the workspace. Then you plot it. Then you can change all the parameters in the plot also. You can change the color of the line. You can edit the x-axis, y-axis. All those can be changed if you're going for the workspace storage.
Right, sir. One more question, sir. Which type of pulse generator is most efficient one?
Generally, pulse generator, if you use for what, which application? Pulse generator means for what exactly? Is it for controlling
exactly the application is
controlling the inverter, or for other things?
Application is not mentioned, sir.
Okay. Anyhow, pulse generator is, if you have a pulse generator, the output is controlled. If you give a 50% duty cycle, that is fixed. You cannot change while the running. So what you have to do, you use the PI controller and a repeating sequence to generate the pulses. As and when, if your controller changes, your pulse width also will change. There are, of course, I cannot answer directly for which application that pulse generator used. Depending upon, you can go through.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. This one more about the abbreviations is clear, sir. Gauss-Seidel method and Newton-Raphson method, sir. That the previous question was there for
Okay, okay. That is in Simulink generally, if you go for the configurations and all, there you can select what type of method you are going. Of course, I don't have much worked on that which gives better results. That method, Gauss-Seidel and Newton-Raphson, generally, if you go for the coding, you can find out which one is the better. But in this case, I don't know very clear distinction between which one gives the better answer.
Okay, okay, sir. Sir, one very important thing about the runtime factor is there, no, sir. On what factor we choose that runtime, sir? We'll have a runtime.
Yeah, here runtime means, for example, for same thing, I will take you wind speed. For example, you want to see from 5 meter per second to 12 meter per second. For every 2 minutes, you want to change the wind speed. That means 5, after 2 seconds, it goes to 6, after 2 seconds, it goes to 8. Like that, if you want to change that, you see how much time is required. If you want to keep 2 seconds in between change or 5 seconds, depending upon how much length you want to run the simulation. That's what here. If you want to run from 5 to that means you require 6 seconds into 12. It requires 12 seconds. That means you can keep around 15 seconds. If you want to go for more than 15, that means in between time gap between two wind. That means 5 to 6, you want to keep 5 seconds, then becomes the 30 seconds. Runtime depends on how much changes you want to see. It is not limited. For example, if you're running like this wind system, you may run for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, or 30 seconds. If you're going for the only inverters and want to see the transients and all, that time you require only 1 or 2 seconds. It depends on the system, how you're going to change.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And the last question, sir, we can have it. If we want to implement a fuzzy logic control in place of PI controller, what is the procedure?
No, here in the MATLAB itself, you have a fuzzy logic blocks are there. That's what it is. It is not possible to cover even in one day class also. Here in this also you have fuzzy logic controllers available in the MATLAB. You can use that directly. Fuzzy logic controllers are there. You can use. If you go for some higher versions also, the more advanced fuzzy logic also there. You can use it.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now let's move on to our vote of thanks. And before I go for that, I request again for the participants, we will be placing the feedback links in the chat box. And I humbly request all the participants to know your batch number clearly from your mail. Okay, if you know the batch number clearly, then only you submit that feedback link in the particular batch number itself. Please, because there is a problem of delivering of certificates of only 100 per day. So based on that, whatever the batch number given to you, please submit the feedback link in that batch number only to get your certificate within a short duration of time. Thank you very much, sir. So, and we hope that this webinar has reached your limits of expectation, and hope that you have learned little new concepts and strategies of about MATLAB and Simulink software. Thank you all for your active participation in the webinar. Now it's time to vote of thanks. I am honored to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf.
Before Imran, shall I 2 seconds? Shall I?
Yes, sir.
Thank you all the participants. Also I will thank your administration and your all HODs, and especially I should thank Mr. Venkatesh. Actually, he was calling me regularly for this webinar from last 15 days. Actually, I was busy with some my university work. Actually, I will very special thank to Mr. Venkatesh, who was asking me to give this one. And of course, I may not able to reach your expectations because it is 1 hour and I am little bit problem with that toggling between the screens. Otherwise, it has been very good.
Yes.
Okay, anyhow, if you want to have any specific issues are there, you can mail me anyhow. That in my site address is there. You can specifically are there. You can mail me, not an issue. And once again, I thank you, the management, your HOD, all the staff, Venkatesh and all. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now let's move on to vote of thanks. I am honored to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of our Department of EEE. First of all, I thank all the participants for attending the webinar, and I'm sure that you all have got benefited from it, and your active participation made our today's webinar a successful one. With immense pleasure and gratitude, I wish to express my heartfelt thanks to our today's eminent speaker, Dr. Santosha Kumar Garu, Assistant Professor, Department of Electrical Engineering from Central University of Karnataka, for his valuable time given to us for delivering an excellent webinar on MATLAB and Simulink software. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And I express my sincere thanks to our beloved management of Sri Vageshwari Educational Society, Secretary and Correspondent, sir, Dr. G. Srinivas Reddy Garu, and Joint Secretary, sir, Sri D. Srinivas Reddy Garu, for providing the necessary arrangements for successful conduction of webinar. I express my heartfelt thanks to our beloved principal, sir, Dr. C.H. Srinivas Garu, for his continuous encouragement and motivation, support given to us. I also express my wholehearted thanks to our beloved head of the department, Dr. M. Ramesh Garu, for his efforts and struggle, which led our confidence levels for proper and smooth conduction of program. And at last but not least, I express my thanks to my colleagues, to K. Chandramouli sir, coordinator of the webinar, and Praveen Reddy sir, Ramesh sir, Kiran sir, Ramana Reddy sir, and especially to our Venkatesh sir, who is the main person for conduction of the webinar, and all faculty of EEE department whose hard work and cooperation, coordination led to us a successful program. And finally, I also thank Arun sir from EC department, and Satish Reddy sir and Vivek sir from CSE department, which act as helping hands for the program. And I also thank who indirectly and directly helped us. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much to each and everyone who has who helped us a lot for the successful of continuation program. Thank you very much, sir. And I would like to inform one more information to all the participants. We are going to conduct a 1-week faculty development program also on emerging trends and challenges in electrical engineering, which will be held from 22nd to 27th June 2020. And its time of faculty development program is given in the evening, that is from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. And this is going to be organized by Electrical and Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. We are having eminent speakers from NITs and IITs for it. So we will be sharing this registration form link also in the chat box. And we will also mail you this brochure with all the details clearly to your mail IDs. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And I request again all the participants to please submit your feedback links in your respective batch numbers to get your e-certificate within short duration time to your mail IDs.
Thank you.
Yes, all of you, all the participants, I think you are able to see my share screen about the FDP, which I have clearly meant, which is available on the screen. This is our brochure, which we are going to conduct from 22nd to 27th June every day from in the evening session, right from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. You can see we are having all the resource persons right from IIT and also NITs. Resource persons are available from NIT and Osmania University and also IITs. And we have given clear details about the coordinators, also an organizing committee. Please, you can reach us. We will also mail you this brochure with all the details to your mail IDs. And you can see at the below, you are having a registration form link. I will share this link in the chat box. So I request all the participants to share this data with your friends, with each and everyone, so that every person of the department can know about this FDP and they can utilize it. I have placed the registration link also for FDP in the chat box. Please, you can utilize that registration link also for the registration of FDP. And once again, we have placed the feedback links. I think everyone are able to see the feedback links because we have got the registrations more than 650. So we need to make all the 7 batches, 7 feedback forms. That's why I again humbly request you all to submit your feedback links with respect to your batch number, which is clearly mentioned in your mails. If anyone has joined at the time of this webinar, they are not having their batch number. So for them, I request to submit your feedback links in batch 7. After submission of your feedback links, everyone is getting your e-participation certificates. I request those who have got the participation certificates just to have our confirmation. I request them to just place yes in the chat box if they receive. If anyone is having any problem in getting the participation certificate, they can reach us with the mobile number to us so that we can reprocess your request for getting e-participation certificate. Giving in the chat box for continuous feedback to us. And I think this is, your feedback is very important for us to know that we made a program successful. And it's time up. I thank each and everyone who directly and indirectly helped us for its smooth conduction. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much to all the participants for having active participation in the webinars. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Stay safe, stay at home. Thank you all.